Hi, my name's Taylor Hildebrand, and here's Filmmaking 101. Okay, so you want to make some movies with your friends, but you've never actually made one before, and you've seen some behind the scenes, but you don't really know what any of it means. Well, I'm here to give you some of those insights and hopefully help you with your filmmaking journey. Okay, first thing you need to know, the most basic thing is there are three parts of filmmaking. There is pre-production, production, and post-production. Pre-production is anything that's happening before the cameras actually start filming. Production is when the cameras are rolling and you're filming your friends and the actors and you're actually making your movie. And finally, you have post-production. And this is everything after you're done filming everything you need and you're editing on the computer. Okay, so let's jump into what you actually need to know before you start filming. First of all, you need a story, and we call that a script in film. So you're about to write your script, so you can actually get started on what you want to film, right? That's your story. So your script is going to have a couple things, like dialogue. Dialogue is anything that the actors are actually saying. Also, you're going to have action lines. Action lines tells the actors what they need to do in the scene. And a scene is anything that happens at a specific location or a time period in your story. So for example, if some characters walk into a room and they start having a conversation and then they leave, that is one scene. Okay, so you've generally written your script and you know how the story plays out. So now you can start getting your crew together. And your crew is everyone that works behind the camera. This could be your cinematographer, the person that lights the rooms. Or it could be your sound person. This is the person that's actually recording all the sounds. So that way you get nice, clean audio that you can then put into your movie later. Or maybe it's the wardrobe designer. This is the person that puts together the costumes, so that way everything kind of looks like it's from the same time period. It would be kind of weird if you had an alien jumping around next to George Washington. And finally, part of pre-production, you want to cast your actors. That's where you decide which one of your friends is going to play which character. Okay, so your pre-production is finished now. You have cast your actors, you have all your crew, and you have your script. You know what you're going to be doing for the day. And everyone comes together. And what do you do next? Who does what roles? Well, here are some of the roles that you should know for filming. Well, first of all, you need a director, and the director is the person that's actually going to make the decisions on how the whole movie comes together. They're going to be reading the script and talking to the actors and saying, okay, I want you to go from here to there. They're also going to be talking to the cinematographer or the person that's doing the lighting, and they're going to say, okay, let's make sure we get plenty of light from this way. I want the scene to feel a little bit spooky, if it's like a horror movie or something. So you always need a director to basically kind of guide everyone in the same general direction of how the movie should turn out. It would be weird if the actors are treating the scene like it's a scary story when you're trying to make a comedy and you're trying to make people laugh, but they're acting all scared. So the director is going to help everyone be guided that direction. And finally, you have the actors as they're memorizing their lines and walking across the room, sitting down where they need to, pretending to eat. And really, it's important that the actors are pretending as best as they can, so that way the audience, when they're watching it later, they feel like they're seeing these people being in this other world, right? Okay, so everyone is ready to start filming. But what do you say? What happens next? Well, the director is going to call out a couple of key phrases to let everyone know what's about to start happening. The director is going to yell out, rolling. Rolling means that the camera is going to start to record. The next thing that's going to be yelled out is action. This is going to let the actors know that they can start acting out the scene. Finally, the director will yell out cut. This tells the camera person to stop recording and the actors that they can stop acting and everything's done. And then you can reset the scene, or you can go on to the next shot. And the shot is anything from when the director yells action to the when the director yells cut. And it can usually be from one specific angle. And an angle is wherever the camera is looking. So if it's a low angle, that means the camera is by the ground, looking upwards. If it's a high angle, the camera is high in the air, looking downwards. And then you have a wide shot. That's where you can see a lot of things. And then you have a close-up, and that's where you see just a little bit. That's just a face. So there's a lot of different types of shots and a lot of different types of angles. And finally, you have a frame, and the frame is whatever the camera can see. If I put my hand out here, it's not in frame anymore, but it is right here. It's really important that you always keep whatever you need to in frame, and you're thinking about what is the camera seeing, because that's the only thing that the audience is going to see in your movie. Alright, so you spent the day and you got all the shots you needed. You told the story, you did all the different scenes, the actors acted out everything, you were recording all of it, you got the audio you needed, you set up your beautiful lighting, it looks amazing, and now you have all this footage, and the footage is everything that you recorded. What are you supposed to do with it now? Well, you've entered into post-production. This is where you're going to do 3 key things. You're going to do your editing, you're going to add the music, and you're going to add the visual effects. Okay, so what actually is editing? Editing is where you actually make it look and feel like a movie. You're going to take all these shots and put them together in whatever editing software you want, whether that could be iMovie or Premiere or Final Cut. There's so many different editing softwares out there. You're going to upload your footage where you take it from the camera and put it onto the computer, and then you're going to start to cut. And cutting is where you start to take out all the extra stuff of the director yelling action, because you don't want that in there. You've never heard that in a movie, but you do just see how it flows. And editing can take a long time, and it's okay if you don't get it right away, and if your movie doesn't quite feel like a normal movie, it can take some time to learn. So once you've gone in and you've edited out all the bad parts that you don't want, and you only have the good parts, and it feels like one story, and now it's time to add some music, and that's a great way to keep the scenes flowing with one emotional continuity, where it feels like someone's getting angrier and angrier, so maybe you find a song that keeps getting louder and louder and more intense. Music is a great way to add emotion and come alongside the actors' performances. And finally, you have visual effects. Now, visual effects are anything that you did not film on the day that could come from the computer. It could be a computer animated monster, or it could be a gunshot, or it could be a wand blast. Anything that you're making in the computer that's on top of the footage, that's going to be visual effects. Now, this usually comes later, but I'm sure some of you guys have played with some apps where you can add in visual effects to your shot and it looks cool because there's a giant explosion in the background or something. But that's for usually when you're getting a little bit more advanced. For right now, just try to tell stories that don't have that many visual effects, that maybe don't include a superhero, but are more about detectives. Great job, little filmmakers. You have written your script, you got everyone cast, you found your crew, then you went and started filming, and you got all the scenes that you needed to done, all the actors said all their dialogue, the lighting was beautiful, and finally you brought it into your editing software, and you edited the whole piece, and you added your music, and now you have your movie. Upload it to YouTube, share it with your friends, share it with your family. The more videos that you make, the better you're gonna get, and it's gonna become so much more fun. Find as many friends as you can. Ask anyone that you want to come be a part of your videos, and just keep telling stories. I'm Taylor Hildebrand. I hope that this has helped you get filming.